Hey y'all, Mama Beth. Here we are in the kitchen, ready for our mental health discussion. What a day. I tell you what, nothing surprises me anymore. We talk about getting healthy and getting mental health help and, getting into therapy and taking care of yourself and being able to take care of others. Some people get shot after shot to be good people, to be the kind of people that you want to be around. And they just don't take advantage of it. Some of them have really, really good parents, but maybe their parents just don't handle them right. You never know when you're raising a kid because they don't come with instructions. You just try to do your best, but it's just at what point do you go, okay, I can't do any more for this kid? They've got to figure their mess out on their own. I don't know. I've never given up on mine. I threatened to. She's never done anything really bad. She's never done anything to, make me do more than shake my head and say, oh, good Lord. She'll grow up saying, things that we all do as teenagers. But then there's, in one, I don't know. I think in every family, there's always that one cousin or, they're not a first cousin. They're not real close. They're not the kind you spend all weekend with at Granny's, playing with, but they're like the second cousin or the third cousin. And, from the time they were little, they were a hellion and you knew they were headed for trouble. Is it just me or does every family have one of these? Because my family's got one. Hi, Puddin'. Everybody say hi. I'm happy that you're here. If anyone that I've invited to come up on live stream, I've got a couple of you that I would love to have you come up and share your story. Just send me a DM on Twitter, and I will send you the link right away. Let me pop out the chat. But yeah, hi Rebecca. In every family, there's always that one kid, and this one, she took dance from me. She's younger than I am, and she was always real spoiled. Hi, Jane. I knew you'd make it. She was real spoiled growing up. Her parents had a decent amount of money. They weren't wealthy, but she wasn't better than anybody else in the family. But she was treated like it by her mom, And I feel sorry for Mama because she grew up and, let's see. First it was sneaking out. Crap, I'm trying to pop the chat out and get it all straight. First it was sneaking out all night. And she'd lay out all night and they wouldn't know where she was. And she'd come back in the morning and, they'd be none the wiser. If they were, they'd let her get away with it. And it was just like, really, you got to rein her in. Then, thank you, doing things I don't want it to. Okay, here we go. Then as she got a little bit older, I guess she was about 18, she started stripping. Now, if you don't know anything about West Virginia, we have full nude strip joints here. Gambling and strip joints. That's why tourism is the #1 industry, I think. I think it's #1, Cole's #2, where they switch back and forth. Oh, hi, Uber. It's so good to see you. So, my cousin, 18, she started stripping. She had a new Mustang convertible, and I think she slept with about half the county. And she was on drugs. She was buck wild. Just wild. And I was reading news, and then up on my Facebook pops up her name. She killed a man. She killed him, then she cut his head off, and then she ran out of the house with one glove on, one glove off. And when she got a ride from a couple, and she was covered in blood, and they called the police when they got to their house. And how she could scream to the police when they were, which she was fighting them when they come and got her. But she kept saying, I got to go back and get my heads. I got to go back and get my heads. Because she cut his head off. Well, they say in the South, we don't hide our crazies. We put them out on the front porch in a rocking chair and give them tea and show them off for company. This is the first I don't think we've had any real criminals or anything in my family on either side. I don't think anybody's done anything. We have a lot of police officers and, businessmen and all that. And then you kind of wonder, I mean, she's second cousin. And I'm sure if you've watched on the news, you'll see it. But I just wonder, she was so spoiled. I literally, just anything she wanted, she got two of. It was awful. No, she was not, that's what you would think, that if she was abused, Nikki, that maybe that could be a reason. Hi, Ricky. Much love back. Hi, Sandy. Let me say hi to everybody. Oh, I'm so glad to see everybody coming in here. No, she wasn't abused. She was the exact opposite of abused. Her dad was a good deal older than her mom. Her mom was a hairdresser, sweet as can be. I mean, my granny got her hair done there for years. No, her mom was. Like I say, she wasn't spoiled. She was spoiled. She wasn't abused. I mean, literally, she ran over her mom. Took every dime she had. She had 3 kids by one of her husbands. I don't know how many times she's been married now. He got both of the kids, and it's 2 girls and a boy. And then the boy came back to live with her mother, and he's grown now, Martha. But the 2 girls are with their father, and she can have any of her kids. And I don't know. She was on drugs really young. Maybe that had something to do with it. But she's never had any consequences for her actions. She's never, if she said, I need $100, her mother wouldn't say, well, what do you need it for? She'd just say, okay, get me my purse. And then my cousin would take $200. I don't want to say her name because it's a real unusual name. And as soon as I say it, everybody will be going, oh, you're talking about blah, blah, blah. Like, well, no, everybody knows. When it's on Fox News, everybody knows. Yeah, she's narcissist. I'd say she's probably borderline as well. I'd say she's probably doing a diagnosis. But she's been on, I think she's been to rehab about 3 or 4 times. And I don't know. I'm not going to the trial on that. My granny called me. My granny's 97. She called me on my cell phone to tell me. I was like, I really didn't want her to know. But anyway, I said, oh, she's hot. She's like, they're not coming out of here anymore. None of them. So, but yeah, she called me to tell me, have you heard? Well, we're not having anything to do with them. I'm like, okay. Which she really didn't anyway. So, but you look at that. She's 41, life wasted. It's a life wasted. Sandy, West Virginia is beautiful, and yes, it is a little bit crazy. We tried some, so we grow them. Yeah, but I love it here. Yeah, it was in West Virginia. But she was spoiled and entitled and coddled, and whatever she wanted, she got. And when I saw her mugshot, of course, they plastered it everywhere. She looks nothing like she did. She was a cute little girl. She wasn't any overwhelming beauty, but she was cute. She had a cute little figure. She looks nothing like she did growing up. I don't know. I would have never pegged her for murder, though. Who thinks somebody in their family is going to turn out to be a murderer? It's unbelievable. I hope everybody got something to eat and has a snack and something to sip on while we talk. What part of West Virginia? Oh, we live in the southern part of West Virginia, and she was just on the side of the West Virginia line where the murder was committed. Yeah, drugs, when you mix drugs with mental disorders, you get a really bad combination. And people self-medicate. And she probably was. I always talk about, if you're a parent, your child needs boundaries. They want boundaries. You know that. Just like pets, they need boundaries too. Mine are rotten, but we all need to know that our actions between here and here are okay. When we get too far this way or we get too far that way, our friends first and our family, and then society reins us in. And that's the thing. If kids are raised and those boundaries are gone, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to compensate for that. That's why, I'm not for spanking children. Y'all know that. But you have to give them boundaries. You have to give them rules. Or else they get kind of lost. And maybe that's what happened with her. I don't know. But I know there's a man dead and a family that's mourning him. And she's got a family that's really embarrassed. And I wasn't going to say anything about it, but after Granny called today, I thought, well, she knows. It's not like everybody else in the world doesn't know. But you cannot spoil children to the point that they don't have any boundaries, no borders. If you do, you're setting them up for an unhappy life. You can't have them too buckled down, because then you get what like we call preacher's kids, where they run wild because their parents had to be, just perfect and were real strict on them, too strict. Kids need certain freedoms, but they also need rules and need boundaries. And Clinton says she has her coffee and a cigarette. I've drank so much coffee today. I was up last night on Leslie's drink, and I've had so much coffee that I'm about swimming. But okay, today, as you know, this is the second edition of our mental health chat, and I call it mental health because it's not mental illness. It's all about getting healthy here. I'll ignore my dog. There's a German Shepherd next door they're in love with. Now, they're dachshunds. They're wiener dogs. They're not going to be able to do anything with her. I don't know why they're so infatuated. I mean, literally, they can't reach to even get her. And there's a fence between the property. It's way over there, but they've been in and out all day. Sandy, your cousin was murdered because of drugs. I am so sorry. Now, Sandy, did you want to come up? If you do, send me a DM and I'll send you a link. Yeah, 3-year-old doesn't like when Mama sets boundaries, but you know what? That's the best thing you can do for them. Set logical boundaries, and have it make sense and stay the same. That's the thing. Consistency is key when raising kids. Even if it's a silly rule to them when they get older, stick with it. It makes your kids secure. It lets them know that they're loved and they're important enough for them to be disciplined. The discipline is a type of attention, and it's positive attention because it's setting the guidelines for their behavior all through their life, and that way they know what to do and what not to do in different situations. So when you correct your children, make it logical, but it helps them understand why. Always give them the why. And yes, spanking is the parent wanting instant gratification, and it's usually done in anger. And I hear defense of it all the time. They're like, "Oh, I got whipped with the switch, or I got whipped with the belt," and "Oh, it did me so much good." Like, really? Your parents could talk to you? Are you deaf? I mean, if you were deaf, they could sign it to you. They don't have to beat you to get you to understand. Good parents talk. Good parents make sense. Now, we all want to be good parents. Some of us don't learn this until our kids are older, and then we have to go back and go, maybe I shouldn't have done that. We all do that with this thing. But, I just want people to take care of their kids and raise them right and raise them with boundaries so we don't have any more that do crap like this. It's just horrible. I can't imagine his family. He was into drugs too. They both were. It's just a shame. It's just a damn shame. Okay, I'm gonna. Sandy, would you like to come on, honey? If you do, I will send you a link. Let's see. Oh, DM somewhere. Okay, Sandy, first thing you need to do is you need to open your browser or go to Google, like the search, and put in Google Hangouts, and you'll need to download that. It's an app that'll go on your phone or on your computer, and it's really easy to use, but you'll need to have Google Hangouts downloaded first. Then you'll need to put your headset on. You need a headset, and you'll have to mute YouTube, and once Hangouts is downloaded, then you just click the link that I sent you. You're on Twitter, aren't you, Sandy? Make it tuna. I like tuna. Exactly. We have to have emotional boundaries. We have to have behavioral boundaries. We learn when we're little, and this is something that a lot of people with personality disorders have trouble with. We learn when we're little what behaviors are expected and what behaviors are acceptable. We know that if we bump our arm, we're expected to cry a certain amount. If someone hurts our feelings, we might cry. If you make somebody angry, they may shout. Um, we start learning when we're very young to go by visual cues and figure out what's okay and what's within the range of normal emotions. And that's why, as they grow up, children mimic their parents. Have you ever, how all right, if your mom or if you babysat, you know how when a kid falls down and how if the mother goes, oh my God, and rushes over to them, they start crying right away. But if the mother says nothing, sometimes they're just like, and they go on. Yeah, that's because they're conditioned to their emotional response through our behavior. And if we overreact to everything, the child's going to learn that overreacting is normal. However, if we act within the proper guidelines set by society, our friends, our relatives, people we care about, people we look up to, if they learn to react within what we consider appropriate measures, then they'll grow up to be pretty stable with their emotions. They will know how to act in whether they're going in society. Social anxiety. There have been a couple studies that have been done that suggest that social anxiety has a lot to do with attachment disorder and from parents not socializing their children. I see a lot of teens and 20s, young 20s and the teens. They have the rate of social anxiety is much higher than it is for anyone, say, that was that age 10, 20 years ago. And we're seeing an upswing of it. But also parenting changed. We changed the way we thought about treating our children. We insulated them. We had a war going on. We had terrorism and all of that. And it's caused, I think these studies are right. I think it's caused those age groups to not quite know how to react and how to be comfortable in public because we sheltered them. But that was because of what was going on in the world. And you have to be really careful how you treat your kids. Okay, you're on Twitter. Sandy, do you have the Google Hangouts downloaded? Because if you do, I will send it. All right. Sandy, send me a direct message. If you go on my page, if you look, and it says Mama Beth, it's all together, and then it's at Mama Beth's World, just like my channel. And you go on there and you see an envelope at the top, this little envelope icon. And all you have to do is click on it and you can send me a private message. Let me see if I can find you too. Oh, hush, Marlon. Nobody touched you. Marlon overreacts to everything. All right. Sandy, what's your name on Twitter, honey? If you'll send me your Twitter name, then I can send it to you. She wanted to know about those. There's a reason that I said that to her. Would y'all hush? Now, all of you, you're acting like rotten kids. Being bad when I'm on the computer. Go on. Go on. Go on. Those are Japanese lucky cats. And they'll wave, and they'll be just like this. And it depends. Some say the right is for restaurants and bars, and some say the left is for like regular shops with dry goods. But we saw one at some Chinese restaurant, and it was very big. And we started talking about it to the owner, and they said, "Oh, this lucky cat, bring you good luck." I'm like, "How cool is that?" So I came home and I looked it up. Well, my husband runs two companies, he's COO, and But before that, he was over all the sales, engineering, sales, and all of that, over everything. And I think it was when we were in a low economic time, I started finding happy cats. And they're so silly because they sit there and wave. And he has ones that don't wave, that just sit there with their paw up. He has some that wave on solar. He has some that wave on battery. He has them of all sizes. And business started getting better. I said it's because they waved in all the luck. He was like, they're supposed to. And so that's why we sent one to Katie, because she says that she's going to be rich and she's going to be famous. And I said, well, here's the rich card. This will bring you good luck. So, oh, let me read the chat. Calypso, when my 2-year-old grandson is pitching a fit, I talk to his own and say, can you believe Alex is throwing a fit? Stuff like that. It amazes me how a full-blown tantrum this week. Absolutely. I'll tell you, I used to, when my daughter was little and her dad was cooperating, but we would pretend that I'd say, you're just not behaving. If you're not listening, I'm just going to have to make you invisible, because I just can't bear to see my daughter act like that. And after 1 or 2 times, she never wanted me to snap my fingers and make her invisible. Of course, we were saying, I don't know where she is, but at least she's not misbehaving in front of us, hanging on to my leg. Mommy, you can see me. Now you can see me. And it took everything I could not to break into a laughing fit, but it didn't take it once or twice. And all I had to say, do we need to go invisible? She's like, no. No, don't do that. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, fine. It worked. Right now we're talking about my murderous cousin and raising kids. Hi, Leanne. Well, Leanne, I'm all right, but my cousin's in jail for murder. But you were just wondering if someday you could talk about the behaviors of a narcissist, how to cope, and ways to encourage them to seek treatment counseling. I'd be happy to. I've actually done 2 videos, one on children of narcissists and one on narcissists. And I go really in depth in those, but I'm very happy to talk about that on a stream as well. You got Hangouts. Okay, Sandy, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll send you the link, and you can pop right in. And, but, what was it? I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought. Y'all think I'm getting tired. But, the narcissist. You can watch those 2 videos. They have a lot of good reference material in them. I made sure that, basically, if you're writing a paper, you could reference it. But narcissists are never going to seek help unless they get in so much trouble that it benefits them to get counseling to prove that they're not competent. Like, if a narcissist does something illegal and gets caught for it, they might seek treatment then and get it. You do that, but we can talk about narcissism here, right? I mean, it's easy. Nicole, I'm seeing you on here. You're starting the video. Thank you, Silver Wings. You're so sweet. You're struggling with your weight, no motivation. Nicole, I don't know if have you had a regular checkup from a doctor? Nicole, I would suggest that you get a checkup from a doctor, have labs run, have your thyroid checked, basically have them do a good rundown and make sure that there's nothing physically wrong, and then you need to seek a therapist. Are narcissists born that way, or do they become that way through experiences? That is an excellent question. It's a little both. You are the people who are full-blown narcissists usually come from a family where one or more of the parents has, I think it's like a 25% chance. If they have a personality disorder or one of their parents is a narcissist, it's a pretty good risk that the child will be. And then because of the genetic factor and because the parents also control the environment, we have nature, which is the genetic part, and then we have nurture, which the parent controls. If you're raised by a narcissistic parent and you have a tendency to be a narcissist yourself, you're going to be a full-blown narcissist because you're going to learn everything from the master, which is one of the parents. And, if someone is a true narcissist, there are definitely signs that you should watch out for. And there's all sorts of articles, hang on just a second, my mouth's so dry. The 5 ways to recognize a narcissist, the 7 ways to recognize a narcissist. It's just, people want to talk about, people want to write about narcissists all the time because everybody thinks they know one. Actually, only 7% of the male population, and I think like 4.5% of the female population are actually narcissists, what we would test and classify. But when you meet one, you know it. They talk about themselves. If you say, I have a dog, they'll say, oh, yes, I've got 2. And, it's just everything is the bigger, better deal. They have everything bigger, better than you do. They're better at their job than anybody else. They're more popular than everybody else, or they want people to perceive they're more popular. They are constantly bragging on themselves. And most of the time, people think that that's because they're insecure. They may be, but they are constantly, oh, so-and-so just gave you the best compliment on my hair. Or, oh, this outfit, I got so many compliments on it. I got bragged on all day long. Or at whatever their job is, they'll say, they'll brag on that. And it's just on and on and on. If you are hanging out with a narcissist, they're not going to ask you anything about yourself, after you're in a relationship with them. There's a honeymoon period where they will buy gifts. They will overcompensate for all the neglect they give everybody else, attention-wise. When you're first in an encounter, like first starting a friendship or a work relationship, or start dating, they bend over backwards. They know how to work it. But then you realize that everything they do for you comes with a price. Every little trinket they buy you or card they send you will be thrown up against you in a future argument, or you will be expected to do twice as much for them later. They literally bleed you dry. They are such an emotional workout that finally most people who are married to narcissists either leave, or if they're not willing to divorce, they don't say stay right by them. They don't stay side by side, because there's only so much anyone can take of a narcissist, unless you have another personality disorder, and then that's just a mess. But children. Oh no, I didn't. Thank you, darling. I will send that right now. I'll send. I'm sorry about that, Sandy. I was rattling on. Okay, I'm looking at my messages. Here we go. She's sweet. All right, I am going to accept, and I am sending you the Hangout. Now, Sandy, when you open this, you're going to need to mute your YouTube. Make sure your headphones are in. Headphone and microphone, okay, darling? And we'll bring you up on panel. Sandy's got a lot to talk about. She's been through a lot, which, and here's the place to share it. Safe to say. So, Sandy, go ahead and hit that link, and we'll get you up here and let you talk, tell your story. I think you can do a lot of people a lot of good sharing. And okay. Me. Yep. That's the narcissist income. Okay, Steph, that's your borderline, but you're treated. See, that's the thing. Most borderline patients, they don't want treatments until they get really like manic or really depressed. They'll go into treatment, but unless you stay with treatment and you realize that, you need to do DBT and talk therapy and things like that, if you understand what you have and you work hard, you can overcome what we consider the stereotypical symptoms. And, by you doing that, by you working your hardest, like you say, you're not going to give, the same symptoms as somebody who is, say, untreated and somebody who doesn't work on themselves. Narcissists really they have a hard time admitting anything it's ever their fault or responsibility. And, it's everybody else's fault but theirs. And they'll deny. Yeah, see, your professionals have told you that you have very high insight. And that is what, if even if you haven't had therapy, there's a DBT app. I talk about this in a couple other videos. Dialectical behavioral therapy. There is an app for your phone, and it will help you with that. But study what that is, and you'll find that you can gauge your reactions better, and it helps you be a little extra aware, so you don't feel like you're off balance in different situations. That's the whole thing about borderline. It's a personality on the border between psychosis and neurosis. So you're constantly at odds with your emotional responses and understanding. But if you have really good insight and you work on it, it doesn't have to be something terrible. A lot of people, they get really frustrated. They're told they have personality disorder, but it doesn't have to be. We're all in control of our own lives and what we need to do with ourselves and what we need to learn so we can grow. Yes, he is with Granny. He absolutely is. That's why he's Mr. On the Border. And yeah, definitely, Steph. Nikki says my mom refuses to take her medications and line in therapy. She enjoys being evil. I don't know what she's diagnosed with. Did I mess it up here? Where is Sandy? I am sorry, Nikki. But we know if you've got a good therapist. Hey, Pinky. If you've got a good therapist, they'll know when somebody's lying to them. It takes a lot to lie to me. My daughter hates it. She's like, I could never get away with anything. But that's a good thing. I'm pretty intuitive when it comes to things like that. I watch facial cues, and now, of course, a psychopath could probably run all over me. I have had encounters with patients who were diagnosed with psychopathy, or actually antisocial personality disorder. Sociopaths and psychopaths, we classify under that, and there are differences in the DSM, so you're not going to see that on paperwork. But it's, you can tell when somebody lies, and I guess where I've done this for so long, I watch body language and cues. You have to be pretty good at lying to lie to me, and I can watch somebody and pretty much figure them out. If I watch you talk to me and watch you just talk, I'll figure it out. And hey, darling, I'm so glad. Particularly, I'm so glad you're here. But a parent who would come into therapy where they're supposed to be getting help and then lie and then not take their meds, who are they for? Therapy's for them, right? It doesn't make any sense. And I've told people, when you can tell me what's really going on, when you can tell me the truth, then we can talk, we can get somewhere. But, and I'm not going to outright call somebody a liar, but I'm not going to say I believe them when I don't. I've had some wild, tall tales told to me, but that comes with the territory. People don't want to admit a lot of times when they've got problems or when they've done things that they wish they could have changed. So okay, she was borderline and narcissist. Two together, dual diagnosis. That's hard. That's hard because then you get someone who really has trouble figuring out what emotions they're supposed to have, but yet they're all focused inward instead of outward. So that's hard. I'm not sure that I would want to tackle that. Honestly, I get usually a personality disorder and a mood disorder, but two together, that's got to be really hard. Let me see what happened to Sandy. Sandy, did you get? Crap. Honey, if you're listening, if you got my link, hit it. It's in your. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I just sent her a tweet that says, a DM that says, click the link. And that should work. And pop up the chat again. Get better at this. I don't feel like I'm quite such an idiot anymore. But she told me my therapist brainwashed you. Isn't that interesting? Narcissists like to say, oh, you don't need that. You don't need this. It says no invites. What? Wait a minute. Yeah, it should. It looks the same. Okay, I'm going to send the link again. I don't know why it would do that. Let me give her this link. That's crazy. Okay. All right, I sent it to her again. It looks like it's a different site address. So maybe there was something different than the one I pulled off the top and the one that I pulled off the actual where you click to invite to send an invitation. Thank you, Jane. I really appreciate it. Narcissists, especially if there's something wrong with their children, if their children need help or they feel like their children are not the shining examples of perfection that they are, and I say that with all sarcasm. They don't want anybody to know that they're not a perfect parent. So therefore, they'll tell you you don't need therapy. There's nothing wrong with you. They're just telling you there's something else. They just want your money. No, you don't need any help. You don't need any medication. You don't need this. You don't need that. A lot of times it's just to control you. They like controlling people, but also they don't want anybody thinking that they're less than perfect as a parent. So it's just, you have to, I would run, basically, stay away from her. Let's see if Sandy got that. What is CPTSD? CPTSD. Good Lord. CPSTD. It's clinical post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's when you have long-standing complications from a traumatic event or situation, perhaps that has lasted a long time, like abuse, something like that. And you begin to have reactions to stimuli that are similar to the ones that you had, the stimulus that you had in whatever it was you were in. Like somebody raising their voice. If you were abused as a child, you knew that a raised voice meant that you were going to get hit right after. Hearing that raised voice may send you into panic mode. It puts you into fight or flight. And that's what the people coming back from the military, they'll hear firecrackers or guns going off or anything like that. It triggers them to go into a fight or flight. And they're either going to, try to run like hell and beat everybody up on the way, or stay and just hurt things, put fists through walls, because they're reliving their past trauma in today. So, but it's considered clinical after, I think there's some places say 10 years, some say 15. But PTSD it's pretty serious. If you've had a traumatic event and you're still suffering for it years later, it has left an imprint on your mind. And the only thing that you can do is seek treatment, get in therapy, get in groups. And, there are different kinds of group therapies, whether it's abuse, grief, military, the veterans, they do that, talking about it, getting it out. And you can actually change, the way your brain works. You can change your responses, and you can understand what your triggers are. So it's kind of PTSD. I swear, I'm getting tongue tangled. It's like that, only it's an extended period of time. Nikki, I can understand what having a mother like that would give you. we do that. That's very understandable. Yeah, Steve, that's why you have to, if you're a therapist or a counselor or, usually not life coaches, um, for serious therapy, you need a real medical professional. You need a mental health professional. But I have seen some horror stories being told and some reactions to those stories, and the health worker did not know what to do. We all get thrown sometimes. I'll be honest, I get thrown. I'm not going to say that I'm numb to everything. I'll say that I won't judge someone for being honest with me. But yeah, there's times that, I get hit with something. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. But I have to kind of keep my face and just nod, right? Sandy Lives has the link, open Hangouts, but still sees no invite. I have no idea what's going on. Jane, do you want to send her the link? Jane, you try to come on. Hang on just a second. I'll send it to you. And see if you can come in. And because honestly, I don't know what's going on. I hate when we have technical glitches. Where are you, Jane? I'm just starting a message. Okay, Jane. Coming through. Maybe it's my end. I don't know. I mean, it looks regular. Jane, see if you can pop into the Google Hangout. You can turn the camera off if you don't want to see your pretty face. But let's see what's going on here. I'm sorry, Sandy. Sandy, do you want me to? I don't know what it could be because I haven't done anything differently. Sandy's gonna need anger management. God love your heart. Let me see what I can do. I have it on my phone as well. See, and it says ongoing call. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. It's Sandy's 9 Lives. Is that at Gmail, honey? I can't remember. That's probably me. Because I'm technologically challenged. Okay. All right. There's no subject. I just sent it to you. I think it is me because it had something about ongoing call and able to join or something. I don't know what it was, but I hit it, and I think it works. Okay, see if you can get it. See if you can get on it there. You're getting the same error. I think I fixed it, Jane. I hit something that on the Hangout for invitations. You turned on joining by link. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I can't do nothing. Okay. It's update the plugin to see if that's a problem. I don't know even how to do that. So, oh, I think I found you. I sent you a message. Did the message go through? I don't know what I'm doing. I look on the Hangouts. If anybody happens to be an expert on here, there we go. I'm sending an invitation to your Gmail. There you go. I sent it right from the Hangout. So the invitation posted. So hopefully that one will work. Check your email, Sandy. See if that works this time. Yeah, I hope it did. Oh, honey. You know, things used to be a lot easier when we just made calls through AOL and thought that was the speed move. You know? It won't work on Firefox. I'll say that right now. It's got to be Chrome. But I sent her an invitation from here. I think I did it right. I think. Let me see if I can get Jane one. Well, I don't know your email. Okay, I heard something. Oh. Sandy, check your email and see if that last one that I put through maybe does it work. Yeah, it has to be on Chrome because it's a Google product. Yeah, I could post the link in here. Wait a minute. I wish people quit trying to sell me stuff. Okay. What am I doing? All right. Now I'm going to put it in my chat. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if it works. All right. Okay, there's the link. Oh, you haven't downloaded Chrome. There you go. Check my DMs. Okay. We'll figure it out one way or another. You won't wait. It's all part of fun. Okay. I hear somebody.
Oh, am I here?
You're here, honey.
Boy, it only took me 45 minutes.
Oh, God. Well, if you had somebody that knew what the hell they were doing on this end, it might take less time.
Dang, I keep hitting stuff here. Okay, I'm trying to get fixed up here now.
It's all Woo. Good. You got your headphones on. You know how to do your hangout. Woohoo.
I'm like, I got my thingy sitting on a box, and it wants to fall over on me.
Okay. You look pretty. You got your face all done.
I did. I got my face did. You. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's.
Sandy's been rather down. She had some things going on in her life yet, and she hadn't felt too good. And you know how when we don't feel good, sometimes we don't want to put on makeup, fix ourselves up. So it makes me so happy to see you, you know, all with your beautiful face done and smiling.
I know, and I was getting ready to put in the chat room. I put makeup on for nothing. I even had to try to put eyelashes on. You know, it's like.
It looks gorgeous.
Thank
when
you.
I wear my glasses, I can't wear false eyelashes when I miss.
I've never had them on before, and it's the ones that you stick on one, you know, like 4 or 5 hairs in your eye.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I thought it might do something. I don't know. The older I get, the less eyelashes I have. So I don't know what happens there.
That's the same
That's the
with me.
thing. Yeah. I
But
used to
they
curl
look
them and
good.
they, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I figured you couldn't see too well on camera. You know what I mean? That's, the mistakes I made. So
You look fabulous, and I'm gonna
thank
have to try
you.
those. I usually use the ones that are just in the band, but
Yeah.
I've been wanting to try those. So
Let's see.
you
How do you
inspire
get
me.
chat on here? Out
What you
the
do?
chat room. Can
I'll
you
have
see
a
the
chat.
chat room?
I can, yes.
Uh,
What
I'm
you
just
do
on
is
my
at the
phone.
top.
So,
Oh, you won't be able to do it.
oh, okay.
That's okay. I'll tell
Alrighty.
you what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, everybody in here, say I'm gonna let Sandy, like I do in other chats, in other live streams. I'm just gonna let her tell her story from the beginning on through in her own words, and I'll ask questions, of course, on the way. You know how that works.
All
So
right.
that way
Oh,
it just helps us understand. Why don't you
okay.
start from the beginning?
I have so many stories. Which one do you want me to tell?
Well, how about the video you were talking about that you were very upset about?
Okay. I was, and I probably overreacted to it, but I was in a chat room, and this guy was, like going for all the cute little girls and stuff like that, and just kind of being obnoxious and, the whole
Mm-hmm.
bit. And I just sit back and watch. That's, I don't say anything to anybody usually,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just, he was aggravating. Well, there was someone in there, and she had posted a phone number, and I was like, oh my goodness, you never do that. You don't
Right.
post the phone number, Um, and so he was right on it, just like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't, I was trying to protect her, I guess, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, I'm sorry. I said I posted my phone number. My phone number was posted by accident, and I said, please just don't call it. It's fine. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like something like, oh, why would I call that number? He said, you're old. And I was like,
How
oh,
rude!
excuse me. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, he was like, I wouldn't. He basically told me that I was too old and whatever for, because I guess he went in and saw, my picture or whatever, the not really a thumbnail, but some of my videos, and I just basically almost made him throw up the way the way he was acting.
that's he's not a gentleman, and that how rude of him to say such a thing.
But I
You
had
know,
just lost my, especially the one I call my nephew, but he, I've known him since he was little, and he had just died by suicide, and his brother,
oh,
and yeah,
just
and
for the chat to know, the one young man committed suicide, and his brother was so distraught. It was what the 2 days later he committed suicide. So two.
no, no, it was my nephew, because I'm a insomniac. Um,
Mhm.
I was up. It was about 4:30 in the morning, and
Mhm.
my nephew was. We have on the Facebook Messenger something we call the fam, where we just go ahead and talk to all the family members. He said, "Is anybody up?" And I said, "Well,
Mhm.
I am." And
Mhm.
he's like, this was within hours, and he was telling me that his friend Felix is the brother of his best friend, uh,
Mhm.
committed suicide, and my sweetie Sergio found his body, and yeah, and they had to pry him off. The police had to pry him off of him. He had hung himself.
Oh my God.
And then because of that, my nephew was telling me, he said, we can't find Sergio. And I was like, I don't have my car. My car's broken down, and I couldn't get out to go look for him.
Mhm.
And everybody was looking, and so I think no, he had they found, well, my nephew came back in because this was his best friend since they were children,
Right.
and he said um, they found somebody, Sandy. They found somebody, and I said, oh, no, 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 no. He said, I'm so scared it's him. They had found him hanging from a, oh, like an overpass,
Oh
and
God.
and yeah, and what he had done, I guess there were some homeless people that had been under this underpass, and they would stay there and sleep and stuff.
Mhm.
And he had just at the spur of the moment, he got a piece of cord that was holding the tent together, the cord pieces, and put it over there. And he put, I don't know what song he was listening to, but he put his earbuds in his ears, and his knees, you said, were about this far off the ground. He had just put pressure on himself until, I guess he passed out, and then the pressure from the rope just finished it. But he what had happened is when my nephew was, letting me know what was going on, they found him and called the police the first time they had found him.
Mhm.
And I told my nephew David, I said, Dave, I said, I tell them to get him to the hospital and put him under suicide watch.
Mhm.
And he's like, yes, so they did. The cops had he was kind of fighting them a little bit, but they got him there and put him in the hospital on the, mental health care ward. Uh, and they let him go. They
Oh
let him
gosh.
go. And that, they didn't put him on suicide. I don't understand this for the life of me. They let him go, and he went directly, to that underpass and killed himself.
Mhm.
And it was just so devastating, for everybody. He was the sweetest, kindest little guy. He had no self-esteem at all. And I don't know why, because he was a bigger guy. He was overweight, but
Mhm.
he was still just as cute as he could be. But you could tell that he had issues because, like he had like a beanie, a black beanie that he would put on,
Mhm.
and he would keep it on there. And he even wore it in the summertime. He would be sweating, just sweating bullets, and he would still have that on. It was like a security for him. And he
Mhm.
would put like a something else on, even if it was hot, because he was so ashamed of himself. And he wasn't that overweight, but you could tell that he had real issues about his body and things. He was trying to cover himself up, like literally. And he was having a lot of problems. My nephew David and Sergio were working. They traveled with a fair, and he started working with them. And they went to the beach. They were in Florida, and he wouldn't take his shirt off. He wouldn't take his clothes off. They wanted to go in the ocean and stuff, and he was just so. And no pictures. No. That's why I don't have very many pictures of him. He did not want pictures taken, and he had real issues with himself, and he had a really hard life. And I think that just, the whole thing got to him. And when his brother Felix did that, my nephew actually told me later, actually just not too long ago, just a few days ago, that uh, they were talking about it, almost like a pact, you know. I'll
Really.
kill myself, you kill yourself, kind of thing. Let's get out of this life. And I guess when he found Felix, that was his, you know, all right, well, it's my turn. I got to do this, and he did.
It's so
And
scary, and I am
yeah,
so
it's
sorry for your loss. I really
thank you,
am.
thank
And
you. He was a beautiful person.
that's I feel for his parents. I feel for you.
He
Not, and of
only
course your
he
nephew.
didn't even have his parents. It's sad, and his sister is left. She and they've had so many problems in their family, and I could see why he was kind of the way he was, because uh, his sister had a baby, had a little baby, and the baby died.
Oh
And then,
no.
yeah, and then their mother died, so he didn't have his mom. Well, and then those two, I guess I'm assuming they made some kind of pact together. I don't know. And they, killed themselves. And this poor girl is by herself now. She's lost both of her brothers. I don't know how she's handling that. I would be a nutcase. I
Yeah,
mean,
I would too. I would too. I would definitely need inpatient treatments.
well, this is the
That's
things that have
horrible.
happened. It is. This is the thing. This was running through my mind. I made a song for him and put it, on my channel,
Hmm.
and sang a song for him. And this was what. And then when I went in that chat room, you know,
Hmm.
and people are so disrespectful. I thought you just never know what one word could do to somebody. If like I said, if I had been in a really, really bad place, somebody saying, mean things to me could have put me over the edge. You don't know. It's like, the words that somebody says, you're fat, you're ugly, you're old, or, any of these put downs, that could be the last thing that they're thinking of, running through their mind when they decide to leave. I'll put it that way. Yeah. And so it angered me so much, and I guess I overreacted to it, but I was grieving and angry about everything. You go through all these different stages,
Well, you go through the stages of grief, and anger is definitely one of them. And it sounds
Right.
like you were projecting, perhaps.
I was.
You were seeing the young girls and wanting to, because you cared about these young boys. You may have felt motherly towards the girls.
I did, actually. I was trying to protect her in case, because he did call it. And he said, "Oh, this is a number in Virginia." And I'm like, "Oh no, he's really trying to do this." And that's when I told him. I said, "Oh, that was an accident. It was my number." So I was just trying, to put the, project it onto me rather than her.
Right.
And because I really didn't know her, and I wasn't sure if she'd be able to handle something like that. So you're right. It was like a motherly thing. I was trying to, protect her a little bit, but he made me mad. So.
And you lost your temper.
Huh?
Did you lose your temper real bad?
I didn't understand you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said, did you lose your temper? Did you lose your temper?
Yeah, and I've got a pretty bad one. It usually takes a lot for it to come out, but like I said, in that moment in the place that I was in, because I had gone in the chat room to, like maybe speak with someone, calm myself down a little bit, get my attention off, and maybe laugh with some people because I'm crazy and I like to say crazy things. So,
You're
go
fun.
into. Oh,
You're just fun. I've always found you to be very fun.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Thank you. I'm good when I'm in other streams. So. But but the fact that you were grieving so much,
right.
I think you get a pass on that one.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking whether I should take it, because I went into the Les, her chat room, and I said a couple of funny things to somebody, and boy, he saw me, and I guess someone had told him, because he doesn't know me, I don't know him. I was just using him as an example, of what you can do to someone, hurt them, or and so he saw me in there, and he was calling me a few names, and "You're such a liar," and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, go back and read it. You did say that, and I might have made a big deal out of it, which I shouldn't have, but I said go, and then the Les kicked us both out.
She'll do that.
We don't drama there.
No, they don't drama. She keeps it pretty tame. It's all joking and fun and lighthearted. But
I wasn't offended.
And she probably understands too. I'm sure you'll talk, and she will be fine, and everything will be good. But you know what? I think, when you're in grief, whether it's someone that is related to you or a friend or whoever it is, you're going to go through those stages. And you had a double whammy right there. So, I know you were upset. So don't feel bad about it. Things happen. We react. We're humans, and you're allowed to. We're allowed to overreact sometimes. Sometimes we're allowed to hide our feelings.
That would roll off my back any other time. I would just feel like, irrelevant. You know what I mean? But I just was not that night.
Yeah. And it hurt you, so you reacted back. But I don't think you have anything to apologize for. We all do that. Not to him. I wouldn't apologize to him, because it sounds like he was being an ass. But,
he's been kicked out of several chat rooms, and Mr. Boots, I think that's what his name, Mr. Boots.
Oh Lord, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he says, "I got your number, man." He said, "I see what you're doing, and I got your number." And he didn't see me in there. I was just silent, because when that guy's in there, I try not to say anything for him to find me, and start on me. But I did say a couple little things to Mr. Boot in there, and so he's like, he wished he had a wrench, I forget what chat room we were in, but he doesn't like him too much. And then I was told by other people that he was kicked out of, a couple chat rooms, and
Yeah.
But he's always trying to get on panel and stuff. Talk about his
He,
murder.
yeah, he's changed his name, I think.
Oh,
I think
really?
he was trying
Oh,
to. I think he was using something else last night because this guy kept
oh
trying to get on
heavens.
and tell him murder. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But Joe was trying to get him up on panel and he wouldn't do it. But he's talked in person
Well,
to
I'm
Joe and to
surprised.
a couple people. But you know, there are people who do that, who like to go in and just take digs and digs and digs until they get a reaction. And you were vulnerable at that time.
I was. You're right.
And so I don't think there's anything to feel bad about or to worry about. And and I watched your video and I thought it was really good. I thought you said what you needed to say.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, Jane, you want to come on? Push that button, honey. Jane won't get on panels. You can come on, Jane. You don't have to turn the camera on.
Sorry, coffee and cigarettes. I'm trying to quit though, guys.
Right.
Light them if you got them, as Katie says.
Yeah. Light them if you got them. I've got cold coffee. I can't have any more coffee today. I swear I could wash away in coffee. I've had way too much. But
I'm drinking some now.
So with all this that's going on, how are you feeling now? Because you seem like you're pretty upbeat. How are you feeling with things?
I'm doing okay. It seems like I was getting hit with one thing after another. I mean, just the past 6 months, I'm surprised I survived it. My mom got sick, and when she started getting well again, because I'm sick, they said, well, she'd be better off in a nursing home because she has Alzheimer's, and she was getting to the point where she was being incontinent and things like that. And I had taken care of her for 5 years. And so we did that, which completely broke my heart. I miss her horribly. But they called me twice to tell me to come pick her back up.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't have a permanent place for her, blah, blah, blah. And so I was keeping, our house and keeping her room and her things, and her bed in there because I'm thinking, anytime now they're going to call me to come pick her up. And then they asked me, listen to this now. They called me and asked me what was happening with her check, her little Social Security check that she got. I said, well, I'm doing the same thing. I said, when she started getting really ill, she sat me on her bed one day and said, I can't write a check anymore. I forget how to do stuff. And we had a talk. This is when she was still more aware. And she said, do what you're doing. She said, continue to pay the bills and this and that for me. Do this for me because I can't anymore. She said, all I ask of you is to keep my life insurance policies because I've been paying on them for forever. And, I will need them. So that's what I did, even when she went into the facility. Well, they asked me. And I said, well, I'm doing what she asked me to do, and I'm paying the bills. I said, if you guys call me and say, come pick up your mother, I said, I'm going to need a home to bring her to. And that helps us keep our home. She turned me into the state for elder abuse.
They will do that for financial abuse.
Financial, yep, they sure did. Now I've got to go to court.
Well, you need to tell them that you didn't understand because they had called you and they didn't have a permanent place for her at the time.
Right.
They were telling you that you didn't understand that all the finances had to be turned over immediately, that they weren't saying it was permanent yet.
All they had to do was ask me or work it out with me and everything. But I told them, yes, I'm trying to keep a home for her because I don't know when you're going to call me and say, come pick her up and I'm going to have to bring her home. Well, because of what they did, we lost her home. I had a 3-bedroom townhouse, and now I'm in a little tiny 1-bedroom apartment. And if they were to do that now, I would have no place to put her. I just wouldn't. So I've been going through all this stuff. I still have to, defend myself against, I guess, the state or whoever's, going to be seeing whether I'm abusive or not. Well, they got their check. She got her check. So that's what they were after.
Just explain when you go to court that you didn't understand it, that they weren't giving you an assurance that she was going to stay there.
Right.
And, that you didn't mean to do anything illegal, that, had they asked, you would have given it to them. You didn't know that you were keeping a home.
Exactly.
I
was just carrying out I was carrying out her wishes. She sat me down and told me these things. And I was doing what she wanted.
If it's if you're getting Social Security, disability, whatever, and you go into a nursing home, they take it all. They
Right,
will take
right.
the sale of the house. They will take the life insurance. They take everything.
Yeah,
So,
they have, and because they froze her account. See, and that's what I'm like. Okay, what's going on? And because the money wasn't coming out for her life insurance, which was put in there specifically for that. The life insurance company wasn't getting it because they froze her account when they turned me in.
oh
They
no.
caused me all kinds of headaches. They're just, oh Lord, and just one thing after another. My car breaking down. I don't have a way to get anywhere. You know, I can't see my mom. You know, unless I beg somebody. You know, please take me. I haven't seen her for 3 weeks. You know, kind of thing. Just a lot. And then with Sergio doing, you know, and Felix, you know, what happened to them and everything. I'm surprised I just didn't my head didn't start spinning. Woo, you know, like, yeah.
It's a lot. That's a lot to handle. I took care of my grandmother, and she had Alzheimer's. She had RA and Alzheimer's. She was bedridden, and she had, you know, was incontinent. I totally feel for what you have done. God bless you.
Oh, thank
5 years,
you.
5 years is hard.
Yeah, and that's hard for anybody, but being sick, it's, you know,
Yeah.
double hard, you know, because there are days when I could not get out of the bed, and there's my mom, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to do? You know, I would be so sick trying to get up and take care of her and feed her and give her medicine and, you know, the whole thing, which I would do till my dying breath if I had to crawl, you know.
Right.
But I felt that I wasn't taking good enough care of her because of my illnesses, you know, and I didn't go taking her outside or, you know, this and that and the other because I'm laying in the bed going, you know.
What are you going through physically? What are you
Physically, well, something that you know a lot about, I would say fibromyalgia is one of them.
Jane, I'm sending you an invite. Hang on. Got fibro. Keep talking. I'm going to
Yeah, if I don't throw my stuff away. Yeah, I got fibromyalgia. Go ahead.
Jane, are you on there as the Jane Objective? Let's figure out what I'm doing here. I got to figure out how I screwed it up and then unscrewed it up the last time. Wait a minute.
Hey, I got here though. That's the important thing. Only took about 35 or 40 minutes though.
Oh,
I thought I'm so dumb about this stuff. I'm so dumb about it. I want to learn how to edit so I can edit. I have so many videos that I want to do, and I'm just a dummy when it comes to that stuff.
I have to get a new computer before I throw this one down the mountain.
I'm trying to hide my boxes. I haven't unpacked yet. Here, get over here.
Don't you worry. We don't judge it here, do we?
I'm trying to be normal here, but I'm very abnormal. Oh, I disappeared.
Okay. Jane, I don't know what.
There I am.
Let me see if I can get you on through here.
This lighting's terrible. I look like I got half a face here.
Oh, you're pretty. Okay.
I'm gonna holler for a second. I apologize. Let me see. Maybe I can turn this off.
I have to figure out how to invite Jane. I'll figure this up in a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I think I found out how to do it. Wait a minute.
Oh no! What did I do? I'm messing myself up. Oh no! What did I do? I did something.
Oh, I did something too.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Change your default accent. Okay.
It's wanting to send it to my whole Twitter group. I don't want to do that.
Oh, what I do? I've done something.
Jane,
no.
Jane, hang on, Sandy. Jane, I don't have your email address. I see you, baby.
Oh, wait a second.
Wait, turn your camera on.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah, your camera was off. It's okay. DM me your email, Jane, and I can send it to you.
I'm echoing.
There you are.
I'm echoing.
No.
I'm echoing or something.
No, you're fine, honey.
Okay, there. I was hearing myself about 2 minutes ago, but it's okay now.
You're fine. I hear you. Hang on, I'm gonna send this to Jane. This is weird how I got to do it this way. Before I just did sleep and it just worked. And now you got to do all this. There you are. Okay. I sent an invitation to Miss Jane.
Excuse me.
I just love her. She's so sweet. Okay. And Jane, see if that works. I hope it works. I hope I sent it right. I feel like such a big bat. Oh, so
I'm terrible.
So you've got fibro, and then
I've got, yes,
what else
I've got so many things wrong with me. It's probably easier to ask me what isn't wrong with me. But my main thing is I have liver disease, and I'm quote unquote terminal. They gave me 3 years. Yeah, they gave me 3 years to live. Back when they were, I was at the there's a liver place in DC.
Right.
And they said they give me 3 years, and 3 not good years. And you have to be on your deathbed in order to get a transplant, unless someone gives you a piece of their liver, kind of thing. But people just don't donate. They take their stuff with them when they could make somebody else live. They give them a life. But they did. They gave me 3 years, and I proudly say that was 4 years ago in March. So
that is wonderful.
Here she sits. I didn't drive for 7 years. I have a whole thing. It came from weight loss surgery is how it started. And this is how it ended up. I have, this huge, gigantic story of, getting gastric bypass that went wrong. And that's what led me up to here. I died on a table. So dramatic. So dramatic. Yeah. And I had an open wound. I don't know if you can see. I'll show you my. It was about this big. Right here on the top of my abdomen for 5.5 years. 5.5 years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I have it. Somebody told me I should write a book. I'm like, I'm too lazy for that. I need to just go to YouTube and put my stories out there.
So you can do that, but you could also write a book as well if you want to.
It's
I've invited Jane.
Crazy.
Jane's
still missing.
I have. I added the Jane objective to this conversation. Jane, go to your
thank you, baby.
Hangout and see if it's on there. It should be. I added it 2 minutes ago. I'm still figuring this out. I have a friend who had a liver transplant, and his niece actually donated part of her liver for him. And just keep looking for a match.
My problem is I have a compromised immune system. Like the smallest thing, I could get a scratch on me, and it turns into infection. And I've lost 300 pounds. So
that's amazing.
I know it's crazy. I got a picture right here of me. I don't know if I can find it or not, but right there. But this wasn't even my highest weight. But
wait a minute. Hang on just a second, darling. Hey, honey, you're in the wrong one. I sent you the wrong chat. I sent you the second one. Oops. Do you see it? Do you see which the one? I can't hear her. Oh, I can hear you now.
I hear something.
I've got her on my phone. She called me through the Hangout. Finally. I know, but you're on the wrong Hangout because I'm an idiot.
You're hanging out with the wrong people.
That's right. You're hanging out with the wrong people, Sandy said. Go to the one above it. It's got Sandy and me, and I added you to it too. But I don't know why it's not letting that one pick you up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's changed. They're trying to kill us, Jane. They're going to make me pull my hair out.
She sounds like a little mouse. I can barely hear her.
Okay, so I need to hang up. Yeah, we got to hang up this one and then go up to the other one. Okay. This is mental health because we're the ones that need help. I'm going to need it.
I'm the first to admit that one.
Okay, Jane, I'm hanging up. You go the other one. She said, I almost said love you bye like I did my
like you're on the phone. Okay, love you bye.
That's funny. I always believe that the first thing and the last thing somebody that you love should hear is I love you.
I say it every time if somebody's walking out the door or because I have another story about my cousin Tina. She literally walked out of my front door and was picked up by 2 men and was taken to the town over and was tortured and murdered.
Oh my
And
God.
I was the last person, you know, that loved her. I was the last person to speak to her. And, you know, I told her I loved her. And I'm glad I did that. But, you know, she walked out my front door literally on the sidewalk in front. And she, that was horrible. That was horrible because we couldn't find her. And they found her body in one of those big tubs that you get at Walmart with the lid on it, the plastic tubs. They had put her in one of those and kicked her down over the dam. And the only way they found her was the people that lived up from the dam could smell something. And they kept complaining about it, and it was her in the tub. So
God.
you always, I don't care if they're just going around the corner to the store, you know, I say be careful and I love you.
Yeah.
You know?
And I believe that so much too. Okay, Jane, I sent you another link to the right one. Let's see if this works.
I wish I could see the chat.
If you go onto the YouTube screen, what you're on your phone. I'm sorry. It won't let you see it that way. And,
that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, but it's all
That's
Jane
okay.
trying to get in. It's all Jane trying to get in the hangout.
Yeah, I don't know who's in there or somebody to say hi to or anything like that. I'm not sure.
Steph Gantz and Jane and Lyrics and Guitars, which I'm going to invite her to come on later on if she still wants to. We were trying to work it out last week. Maybe by the time I get to invite you on, darling, we'll have this shit figured out.
You can teach us all when you're done.
I don't know about that. Steve Yoakum's here. He's a sweetheart. I like him a lot. And let's see, Little Miss STFU. She's a hoot. You're a hoot and a half. You know it. Let's see. I can't see who else is
Oh, that's
here.
okay. I was just curious of who was in there. I was so busy trying to figure things out, I didn't really take a look.
That's all right. It's just still not invite. I have you on the list. I swear. It don't you. Now I know I had you on here. I can be stupid, but I'm not today. I didn't think. Okay. There's I linked you in again, Jane. And it says I've added you to this group conversation now. Okay, let's see if she comes on. We'll hear her sweet little voice.
I don't see the magic box yet.
I don't either, but I see her little profile picture. I see it on there.
That's not on mine.
I think it's because I started the call. I'm sending her a message. Jump on. Jane, I think you have to hit the, oh, wait a minute. I see her profile picture on the thingy. We'll have this figured out eventually. But it's cold there. She's up in Wisconsin. It's hot here. It is.
Oh, it's in the 80s here.
I'm done. I got this cardigan on. I'm like, oh, but I can't take it off because I got a strapless dress. And you know how it is with the strapless dress when you got a chest. You have to keep pulling it up, pulling it up.
I was gonna say I got so much I can't wear a strapless one. I've never been able to ever.
When I ordered this, I thought, oh, that'd be fun to wear around the house, and I thought it had straps with it, but it does not.
Oh no.
And so I only wear it without a top over it in the house. My husband does not mind a bit. Oh Lordy. It shows that Jane is in this call. I don't know why. Let's see.
Oh, I hear something.
Okay, I got her. Wait a minute. No, that's me. Shit. I'm in here
top of the head.
That's mine.
Oh, there you go. No, there she is. She's peeping.
No, that's me.
Okay, let me get out of that. Am I out? Nope. Fudge. Okay, I'm going to do this over again.
I don't know what else to do.
Oh, here, echo.
It's because there's two of me.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
I didn't know you had a twin. Oh.
I didn't either. God, imagine two of me.
Oh,
my
Lord,
Lord,
me.
the world would be a wreck. All right,
My sister's just like me.
Really? I always wanted a sister. But
we can finish each other's thoughts. It's really weird. People always asking for twins, and we say no, but we know things. All we have to do is give each other like a certain look and know exactly what the other one's thinking. It's really strange.
That's good though. You need somebody who has your, who has your back, who has your soul,
Yeah,
who understands you. How close are you all to each other?
My sister and I are very, very close. Very close. My brother, on the other hand, is one of those narcissistic people you were talking about earlier, and he's the one that gave me that verbal abuse a few weeks ago. He said I wasn't worth anything. Poor Jane.
I can't hear you, Jane. Come to me, Jane.
Go towards the light, Jane. Go towards the light.
I am putting the link in the chat. See if this will work again. I mean, this is the way we used to do it. I don't understand.
Would they change things around? Because I've never done this, so I didn't know how it was.
All you had to do was get the address off the top of the Google Hangouts, send it to somebody, and they could pop on as long as they had their Google Hangouts.
Well, that was too easy. They have to make things more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, we're Steph. The mental chat is us me not being able to figure anything out.
Showing just how mental I can be, I guess, trying to get on there. It was terrible.
She says,
I was pushing so many different buttons.
I love it.
Poor thing.
I really want to bring her on. I just love her to death. Okay, let's see. Here's something else. Let me try this. Links. No, I'm not putting that. That's just to send it to my YouTube page. I'm not doing that. Try to add this way. Again.
I had to hit a little camera at the top of the one page I was in. It didn't tell me to do it. I figured, well, camera, this might work. And when I did, that's when I started coming on. But it doesn't give you any kind of instruction. It didn't tell me what to do. It's just like, here you are, figure it out, girl. So.
See, mine figured it out. Okay, Jane, I'm sending it to your email right now. It says it's sending it. As God is my witness. And heaven. You've been through so much, and it sounds like so much grief, but you keep on, and that is what makes me have hope that when one of these days I have to go through a serious grief. I mean, the last one was my grandmother, and that was in 2008. And honestly, I'm still not over her. I admire your strength and your upbeat attitude. You have such a positive attitude.
Oh,
and that takes a lot. So you deserve credit there.
My therapist actually said that because I was going to therapy at one point. Because I had PTSD because of everything that I went through physically, with that big open wound. I could actually try to do a little what are those things called for your abs?
Sit up or crunch.
Yeah. Crunch, there you go. I could look down and do a crunch and watch my muscles actually contract. It was all the way to my muscles, and I could watch them contract because I was stuffed with padding all the time. I had to be cleaned 3 times a day. But when they took all that stuff out, I almost dropped my camera in there one time. I was trying to take a picture of it.
Oh my God.
And I had this little camera. I almost dropped it in the hole. That would have been tragic. So.
Oh no. Puddin', I am not awesome today, honey. Nothing's working right today.
It's my horrible vibes I brought with me.
No, Jane, did you go to your email and look? Yeah, refresh. Maybe that'll help. I don't, honestly, I'm about at the end of my rope. About ready to just plug somebody or pull my hair out or
Poor
something.
thing. See, we're just giving examples of things.
Right. And, but where is your sister in distance-wise? Does she live close to you?
She actually literally lives straight down my road. It's just a straight shot, to her apartment, but she stays with her boyfriend a lot. So, and then when my car broke down, her van broke down at the same time. And, it's been great. Oh, I hear something. Oh
There's Jane! YouTube. Jane,
Congrats.
Mute your YouTube, darling.
Can you hear me?
I sure
Yes.
can. I hear you so good. It's so good to hear you. Yay!
Oh, okay. There's a lag.
That's okay. It happens. That happens. We'll put up with a lag. We're just glad to have you in here. And,
I feel like I just solved cancer.
I know. Seriously. I think NASA is getting the rocket had less trouble than we do with Hangouts. But
Okay, let me close this one.
you can pop the chat out. At the top of the chat, you'll see the three
Pop
dots. Yeah, what you do is the three dots, hit that, and it'll say pop out chat. Select that.
3 dots.
And then,
pop out chat.
And then what you can do is just open the Google Hangout and that screen. And so you'll be able to see in real time us talking, and then you'll also be able to see the chat as well. So you won't have a delay.
Pop out chat. Pop out chat.
It's
Okay.
on the top. You got it? Can you see? I feel like we're at the end of we're a marathon. Woo-hoo!
Okay. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You're looking at the chat.
Okay.
And looking it up.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
You sound really good.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm about 16 seconds behind.
No, we're hearing you exactly on time. Now,
Okay.
on the YouTube screen, it does have a lag, but on the Hangout screen, it doesn't. That's why you want to have the Hangout screen up and the chat up. That way you can talk to people there, and you can still see us.
See, I didn't know there was a difference. That's how much I know.
Oh.
I really didn't know there was a difference. It's like YouTube and Hangout. I didn't.
Katie taught
I
me.
still hear everything again.
It's because do you have your YouTube muted?
Okay, let me close the YouTube. Oh, that's a good point.
Don't close it. Leave it open, but just mute it.
Mute it.
Just mute it.
Okay, keep it going, but mute
But
it.
I'm in your head telling you what to do or say.
Okay.
So sweet. You're so funny.
Can y'all hear me?
I heard you
Oh, really
perfectly.
well.
Okay, good. All right, then okay, good. Yay.
Yay! Everybody's like, yay!
Everybody put some hands in there.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
In here. This is your first time up on panel, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Oh my god!
And mine too.
Oh,
Yeah,
We had 2 panel virgins here.
I'm telling you,
it's a day for first.
It is.
I'm so glad to have you up here. Jane has so much experience, and she's such a great source of information for me, and just such a great, just a good friend. So yeah, I just really appreciate you being in here and all the help you do for me and being a mod. But
I tell you, I think that I feel like I won the lottery when I met you. And
I
I mean, I have stumbled across some wackadoos on Twitter. So to have finally found a little niche group of just wonderful women that are supportive and friendly and kind-hearted, I couldn't have picked a better group of folks to meet. So
I feel the same way. I feel like I'm very blessed. You know, you see some groups, and that you kind of know, and you see that they're fighting and they're going through all of this. We don't have that, and I'm just like,
right. You can feel safe here. You can feel safe. Like nobody's gonna get you. The boogeyman's not gonna be here.
that's true.
Do we even have any trolls, Jane?
Not that I've seen today.
That's good.
So
I don't know. Once in a while, a good troll keeps you on your toes.
I don't mind a good troll, but when they're crappy at it, I just get insulted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen some come in that were actually hilarious in different rooms, and they were just really, really funny, even though they were trolls. It's like, oh, go ahead and stay. You're funny.
Yeah.
Some of them are just disgusting.
Yeah. It just really isn't the place to troll. So
I think the main troll that we all know and adore, quote unquote, is safely away somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that one
whether
is.
he's locked up or not locked up, he's in his own world. So.
That's good.
Yay! Yes, clap hands.
That's right.
Clap hands.
There he can stay.
Oh my God. Steve, you've been called a troll. Well, you don't troll in here. I just love having you in here.
I've been called a troll?
No, Steve has.
Oh.
In the chat. But you're first on your life. It's my first on your life. Oh, well, I am so glad. I just, so many people have come out that I've met, that I didn't know before. Different people have come in and I've become friends with them. And it's just, I feel like it's almost like I'm gathering flowers.
Sorry about the airplane.
Oh, you're fine. But it's like you're gathering flowers. We're keeping all the good ones. We don't have any weeds. It's great.
That's a nice way to put it.
Oh,
That's
you.
true.
That's what I want as a safe space. Jane, would you like to? You've got a ton of information, and that's why I always like having you in discussions. But would you like to introduce a topic? Did you have something that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, golly. Let me think on that.
Oh. Jessica actually just put a question into the chat. Jessica White says, "What do I do, or who do I go to for possible depression? I feel so lost, alone, and miserable, and have nowhere to turn. The first place to go is to your general practitioner, your regular family doctor. Go there, have a physical workup to make sure that everything's okay. Have your thyroid checked, have your hormone levels checked, like your estrogen. Make sure that you're not having any problems, with your female parts, as we say in the South. Make sure everything is working as it's supposed to. Make sure your vitamin D level is correct, your magnesium, manganese, all of those go together and keep you healthy physically, which leads to mental health. Now, if you're okay physically and you've got depression, and ask for a referral to to the psychiatrist that's within your group or someone near, and so you'll see the psychiatrist first, and he'll do an evaluation on you, and he'll talk to you. Probably do just like psychoanalysis, which is just basically talk. The way they do it. In the intake, we use just like regular questions and talks about it back and forth. What are you feeling like? How long have you felt this way? Do you know what's causing it? Do you have anything traumatic that's happened? It's just a series of questions to get to know you and kind of see where you're coming from. Then, if you're still on the path, they'll start you out with, there's so many antidepressants. But they'll start you out on a low dose, whichever one your doctor feels is good for you. Ask for samples. Because antidepressants are expensive. Mm-hmm. And the generic ones aren't so bad, but the newer ones that they're coming out with, they can get pretty high dollars. So ask, because they usually have them. And, you'll want to be on an antidepressant for a full 6 weeks, and then you should see a change. And if you don't, then you need to tell your doctor, and he will either up the dose or he might switch you to something else. Now, I've had patients who did like 2 months on one, didn't respond. Well, 2 months on a different one, shaky response. And then they ended up going with like an SRI instead of an SSRI. So it's a little different classification of drugs. The way it works with your serotonin is a little different. But we find what works for you. And we say different meds for different heads. So, what works for your neighbor might not work for you. However, you may be able to take for a short amount of time. And then, if you're in therapy, which I highly recommend if you're depressed, do medication and therapy. Don't do just the medication. It's not pop a pill and you're all better. You really need to find out why you're depressed and how to cope with it and understand it better and see if it's clinical depression, which means it's because of brain chemistry over a long amount of time, or it's situational depression, which means like something happened that caused your depression and you need time to heal for it, over it. So that could be a 6 month or a year thing, and then you come off the medication and just do therapy. But there you go. Yeah, that was the puppy. That's Merle with the little yip.
They just evaluated. My daughter went for an evaluation. She's bipolar, mm-hmm. And they just started her on an old throwback here. I thought they didn't even use it anymore, but it's Prozac.
Prozac's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on it before, like in the 80s, and I had a complete change. My personality went from, screaming and, what I mean, just, being so anxious to one day I remember I couldn't get the vacuum cleaner together, and I beat it so hard that I bruised the side of my hand. That's where I was at that point. And I told the doctor, and they did it like they have a checklist that that you go through, and he said I was pretty much off the charts. But and he put me on that, and then I realized one day I was in the kitchen sweeping the floor, and I was sweeping, and I was singing a song, and and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm actually feeling good. I'm actually happy right now. It made such a difference in me. And I don't think that, people say that, oh, well, it changed you because, your personality or what. Oh my goodness. But it does. I think it brings the real person out, the person that's supposed to be there. I don't think that it brings somebody out that's different. People are just so used to seeing you a certain way, always anxious and,
Nobody's meant to go through life being a grumpy old, whatnot.
Yep.
You want to, and it's a chemical imbalance. And if you can fix that, then you are your true self. You're who you're meant to be. But I remember when I had postpartum depression, they put me on Paxil. And I was like, oh, sweet Jesus, everybody in the world should be on this shit. It's the best thing I have felt. Oh, my God. For 3 months. 3 months. I was breastfeeding, and, Madeline turned out to be allergic to regular milk, and we had to put her on the soy formula. And all she did was cry for a long time. Oh, my God. I thought all I did was cry. I cried for a week solid. And finally, my mother drug me to my family physician, and he was like, well, let's try Paxil. It didn't take a week. I was like,
Yeah, I told my daughter, I said, well, give it 4 weeks or 6 weeks. And I said, you may start to feel, I said, by that time, it's probably going to be at its maximum. I said, but, I was trying to encourage her because that's what all she does is cry over everything. She's just so anxious. But within the first week, she's like, Mom, she said, you wouldn't believe the way I feel. She said, I feel so much better. She said, even her boyfriend said, well, when this happens or that happens, you're not screaming at me anymore. You're actually talking to me because, she was pretty bad. And, and she said just in 1 week, and she's only been on it like maybe 2.5 weeks now, but she just feels so much better.
Yeah, Jay, you're still in Hangouts.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, I can hear you good. I can hear you good.
Thank you.
And I got good grammar. I hear you so good.
West Virginia, it's supposed to be like that.
That's right. But, the thing with depression, there are so many different situations in life that can cause it. Then you have like the hormonal imbalance that comes after pregnancy. And, with bipolar, there's bipolar type 1, which is more manic, bipolar type 2, which is, more depressive, and there's the fast cycling, and, but they're 4 separate types, and they're all treated differently. And if your daughter is responding, that is just a blessing.
Yes, I'm so happy about that because, she just worried me all the time. It's like she'd be so happy over silly things. And, she'd be so, like overexcited about it and, woohoo. And I could talk to her like the next morning and she's crying, just life is not worth living anymore. And I'm like, oh, please go to the doctor before something happens. I've had enough. I don't need anything else,
Right.
And yeah, go ahead.
Y'all, give me about 2 minutes. I know this is going to sound country as can be, but I need to go feed the raccoon.
Go feed the raccoon.
I'll be right back.
Give it a special treat from us.
Yeah.
I wish I had a raccoon to feed.
Steve's in the chat, and he said that my doc would not let me do one without the other, drugs and grief. Then after 4 months, drugs only, would talk to me when I need it, unless I'm in crisis mode, which I've not needed for 3 years. That is how we handle it. That's normal. That's a good regimen. But I find that patients usually want to keep coming about once a month. Some I see once a week. Some I see twice a month. Some I see once a month. But they want to come back and touch base, and I like that. If I don't want it to get to crisis mode. And I think I'm one of a dying breed. People I treat have my number. They have access to me. Shit, you can get me on DM. But if, like, Steve, if you felt like you were feeling depression coming on, oh, good, welcome back. If you were feeling like depression was coming on or anything, definitely check in with your therapist, and that way they see you more often than the psychiatrist does, and it'll help you keep that depression at bay.
Can I ask Jessica a real quick question? I noticed that she said that she's afraid to ask or to even try to get help.
Mm-hmm.
Can she elaborate on why?
Jessica, if you want to answer it, yeah. Jessica, if you want to tell us why you're afraid, I hear that a lot. It's not something that's new to me, but I think it would be helpful for everyone else.
I think there's a stigma too. I think that some people are afraid they're going to be thought of as crazy or something like that. It's like,
But it's between her and her doctor alone. So
right.
Maybe the pharmacist, but there's definitely, they don't make you wear a T-shirt saying I'm on Prozac.
There you go.
Exactly. There should be no embarrassment or shame with it. Unfortunately, our society doesn't always, cater to us, and it's an illness, and it should be treated as such. Right. If you were sick with the flu, Jessica, you would go to the doctor and get some Tamiflu, but not Jane. Jane can't have Tamiflu anymore.
No, my God, no.
She's got 4 kids and a great family, but you can't open up to anyone because you're the mom, right? And it's all on you, and you don't want them to see you as weak or, to say, oh gosh, mom can't handle all of this and all that. You want to be seen as a strong mother, and that's normal. But there's nothing wrong with being treated for, something that is bothering you, something that within you that needs some help. Like I say, if you got the flu, you go get some medicine. If you had a severe, respiratory infection, you get antibiotics. And this is the same thing. This is called taking care of you. You have to take care of yourself mentally, or you're not going to be great with your kids. They'll see that you're depressed. Kids notice everything.
Beth, one of the commenters, I'm going to mispronounce Lychines, was mentioning that a lot of broadcasters on YouNow deal with patients or people with mental health problems, and they're unprepared for that. That would be an interesting topic to touch on.
Yeah, I have to kind of tiptoe around that one a little bit, because I would hate to accuse someone of not being who they say they are. But it was brought to my attention that a woman was claiming to be a psychologist, but it was very obvious from her lack of knowledge and treatments when someone was trying to talk to them. They said, "Will you check this out? Will you look at this?" And it's very obvious that you can tell the fake psychologists.
Oh, yes.
You can tell the pop psychologists, the ones who think they know it, or the ones who want to bring people on and counsel them. And they're not counselors. I think that I don't diagnose people online. This is a group, so we're having a group discussion. But when somebody brings someone on one-on-one, and they're not just listening, like, I am to you, Sandy, like I wanted you to be able to share your story so you can get it out. And it is, but I'm not telling you what to do. Right. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not my place. I'm not your physician. I'm not your psychiatrist, and I'm not your psychologist.
It's always good to see other people's points of view, and then you can figure things out for yourself.
I want my chat to be a valid place for support and to help guide people to help them find the path to where they can get help and treatment. But I'm seeing a lot of people, I joke about it because I'm like, everybody wants my job, but nobody wants to go and spend all the years in school and then the training and then the responsibility and the insurance and all that other crap. But they just want to get on and give advice.
Armchair psychologist.
Yeah, and it's insulting to those of us who worked really hard to do this job.
I can imagine it would be insulting.
It is.
I mean, how hard you've worked and everything to get to where you are, and somebody just wants to jump in there and act like they can do it, just, without any kind of training I mean, and that scares me because, they could give, the wrong kind of advice to someone, and this person, it could make them, not better, we'll say, it could make things worse even because you just don't know who you're getting.
It's dangerous. And wait a minute, Steve, that's what if you're seeing your nurse every month for scripts and talking to her, great. That's a great setup for after the first initial, maybe 6 months. You just go in, get your scripts, talk to the nurse. They make sure that you're okay and in a good place and go on. Sounds like you've got a good team. Unfortunately, on YouNow, you get a lot of people who have read a few articles on psychology. The Wikipedia experts or the Google experts, they hear something and they think they're an expert on it. My husband has a friend who's one of those, he'll read the Wikipedia article on, I don't know, string physics, string theory, and he's the expert all of a sudden. And there are people that do that with psychology, but you can do a lot of damage, and I've seen it, especially within the addicts community. And you all probably seen it too. Somebody who is going through recovery. They've been clean for a year. They started channeling. They're like, oh, this is for all the addicts to come, and I'll give you advice. I'll give you great advice. And before long, you see them drinking on live streams.
My!
They're exchanging one addiction for another.
That's a train wreck waiting to happen.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I'm seeing a lot of those, and I have to keep my ass out of them because otherwise I'm going to be saying, why are you running a support group? Why are you saying that you're supportive of this when you're doing this? And the advice you're giving is wrong. And I have a big mouth.
Sometimes you need one, though.
I get in trouble and I piss people off, but it's well, you know what Katie says: if I piss you off, you needed it. So
there you go.
But I just, and then what's so funny is when I call somebody else out on their bullshit when I know that they're not doing what I'm doing. When I hear their speech, I hear their patterns, I hear what they're saying, and I'm just like, that's pop psychology, that's bullshit, that's wrong, that's categorically wrong. Then they want to ask me, exactly, but they want to ask me for my credentials and all this stuff, and the people that I treat have seen all of my stuff. They can. It's
just like what I saw the other day in that chat, and saying that you were not a real therapist and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's so insulting for her. I mean, because you have degrees and then people come in and just, I think it's just to be cruel, but, that has to be frustrating. Well, it wasn't, you actually laughed at that one, so.
Yeah, but, I got, somebody said that I took an online course and I was a life coach. I took an online course. I'm like, I have degrees and, I'm life, and I'm just like, at first I was reading my heart, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the crazy lady who tried to tell me she was a counselor, and now she's reading tarot cards. So I have to, when it gets to people who do that, I just kind of have to back off because otherwise I get angry, and, I'm human like anybody else, and I'll lose my temper, but I'm not putting, my stuff online and have somebody, dox me or make calls to the licensure boards, they're fraudulent. And that happens.
It does.
It happens to nurses. It happens
to
psychologists.
It does.
Oh, my gosh. And then you have to
people just throw themselves right into somebody's business. I mean, they dig, too. I mean, that's some work. I mean, haven't they got something better to do with their life? I mean, think of the phone calls and all the stuff that you have to do in order to find somebody's private business like that. It's like, wow, that's too much work for me.
It's sad. It shows me that nothing is more important at that moment than me. Yeah. And Nikki said it. I'm not allowed to be a human being and cuss or be myself because I'm a therapist. I don't know why people think I'm not allowed to say shit on the internet because I'm a therapist. My patients say much worse, and there are no rules about being a therapist online. I could do what I want, would y'all shut up. I swear these dogs. Oh, God. I can say pretty much what I want, do what I want, and I have. And it makes people mad. The therapist, what if her patients saw this? They'll watch. You think they don't know I'm on YouTube? My boss knows. You know, people I work with, they watch them. Yeah, so it's just insane to me that people think they know more about my business than I do.
It's got to be really frustrating.
I would imagine. Yeah.
It is. It's like, you know, it'd be like somebody telling you, Jane, that what you have done and what you've learned, that it's not all real. And you're going, why would you say that? You know, or anybody. It's just, it's comical to me. It's comical to me that.
Juanita just blocked. Oop. Did I just get blocked?
No, but some Juanita person came in here and muted us. I gotta get that damn link out of there.
Sandy's still muted.
Wait a minute. I'll unmute her. I can't believe that. What an asshole. Can you hear? Wait a minute. I'll get her unmuted. No, Sandy, you've got to do it. Sandy, you've got to unmute yourself. Up at the top, it has a microphone, and it'll say mute microphone or unmute microphone. It's at the top of the screen. Hang on just a second. I got to get that link out of there before some other jerk comes in. I guess I was
never seen that before.
That's pretty slick. She got that link that I left in the chat.
Yeah,
And,
she did.
Yeah, she just slipped in and what an asshole.
You know, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but what the hell is wrong with some people? Oh, she's back. Okay, Beth, can you hear me? I blocked her.
Okay, thank you. But she's got the link. She could go somewhere else and just put it on Hangout.
Yeah, I'll block her again.
That is crazy. You know,
Sneaky.
Okay, husband just messaged. He says, I need to come home. I've got the dogs. He's got the dogs upstairs. Listen, Sandy, I really appreciate it. Sandy, can you hear me? Nod your head if you can.
I still see that she's muted.
I'm trying to. She has to unmute herself.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
There she goes. I see her. Oh.
I see her. Sandy, can you hear us? You have to unmute yourself because of the way it was done. But we're getting ready to go because my husband's here. Can you hear me at all? Okay. My husband's here, so we're going to, God love her. We'll figure this shit out eventually. I can't believe that. I guess I was stepping on somebody's toes, wasn't I? But anyway, thank you, Jane. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
And thank you, everyone in the chat, for being so loving and supportive, except for Juanita. She can go suck a bag of dicks. Because I'm a therapist and I can say that. All right. I'm going to let y'all go. I love you.
Thank you, ladies.
I'll see you on Drive Alive tonight.
Bye-bye.
Bye.